What should we hit first? The Nets or re-ranking LeBron now that he's extended?
The Nets, because we kind of hit it during the regular show, and there's not really much more to say.
It's basically just like, where do we have the Nets now? That it appears that this thing is going to be the team. And I wrote a piece for the newsletter a week or so ago, a week and a half. I don't know whereabouts, where I basically said that if the Knicks got Donovan Mitchell, I would put them ahead of the Nets, even assuming the Nets brought everybody back. And my rationale when I wrote that was, even if these guys come back, I don't know how you could just sweep everything under the rug. One, two, this is what I really wanted to just mention briefly. Everybody assumes like, oh, well, this is just going to be the Nets for the whole year. Are we sure about that? Like, he's not getting his trade today.
Yeah.
Who knows what the future may bring? And the big thing for me, and I think we've been on different sides of this when we've talked about it in the past. We always talk about this idea of Ben Simmons in theory. Ben Simmons in theory is the perfect fit on this team next to these guys. In theory, on this team, Ben Simmons would do all manner of things with the ball that don't involve, what he was used to doing with the ball when he was on Philly, in particular during the games he played without Embiid, which is when he's looked his best, which I think is notable. The times he's looked his best in his career is when he was the only star on the court. And now we're expecting him to embody a completely different role, the Draymond role, if you will, with two other stars. Are we sure that he's just going to be like kumbaya, happy and willing to do that? I don't know. And if we've seen really talented teams in our lives, not only as basketball fans, but as sports fans, that just the juju isn't right and they underperform. And I don't know. Are they a top 4 team on talent? They're a top 2 team in the league or a top 3 team in the league. Are they a top 4 team in the East? I don't know.
So you asked the question correctly. Can you be certain of anything? I can't be certain of anything with this Brooklyn team until like this could be a 10 seed. This could be the team that wins. But this could be the team that wins the title. My reasoning for it being the 10 seed, I don't know Ben Simmons can play a full season. I don't know Kevin Durant can play a full season. I don't know Steve Nash can coach a full season. I don't know Kyrie Irving will be motivated to play a full season.
That's a good call.
Yet if the answer to those 4 very up in the air variables is yes, I actually do think there's like a 2 seed somewhere in this roster, with the basketball fit making a lot of sense. And a lot of it has to do with what I saw, not last year, but 2 years ago, when it was so unstoppable offensively, but you could get whatever you wanted at the other end. And if Ben Simmons can just do what he wants on defense and never has to take a shot, I wonder if that's actually like the perfect combo, like you're saying. It really is, I think, can be a good basketball fit. I just don't know if they'll be able to make it through the growing pains. Did you see the quote? And I really hope I didn't get fooled by the internet that this isn't real, but the Rob Parker and Chris Broussard have a show on Fox Sports Radio called The Odd Couple. And apparently Olden Polynice went on there and said that when Steve Nash invited the team over to his house and showed like the trophy room, Kyrie said, you need to give those 2 MVPs back to Kobe because you don't deserve them.
I did not see that.
And that apparently is what started the riff between any of them and Steve Nash. Especially Kyrie and Nash.
It would, just to use just the first example that came to my head, it would be like if I tried to get you fired as producer of the show, and I don't know, for reasons that I can't imagine right now, like I was unable to do that. And then we were supposed to go on doing shows together. Like, what does that look like?
If you walked in and if you wore a Yankee hat to this pod today.
Would that be a fireable offense?
No, I'd probably get over it. Plus, I'm being the producer. I can edit that shit out easily, actually.
I don't know. I guess the short answer, I just looked up their championship odds. You could get them at anywhere from 7-1 to 8-1. Someone else could take Vegas could take somebody else's money.
Keep my $100.
Yeah, I'll keep my $100. I would probably put them right now. If you asked me to place my imaginary token on what seed they finish on, again, keeping in mind all the outcomes possible: Kevin Durant getting injured again, Kyrie going to herd yaks in the wherever yaks are. I would probably put my chip on them being a 5 seed.
You had them as a 6 seed when we did the power rankings as of right now in late July.
But like I mean, I don't think there'll be a 1. I don't think there'll be a 1 or a 2 seed, to be honest with you. I just can't imagine them being that committed, and because to be like the world where they're a 1 or a 2 seed means they're like the 2nd or 3rd ranked offense, and they're like the 12th ranked defense. And the offense is really, really good. The more realistic world, I think, is probably them being something like the 5th or 6th ranked offense and like the 16th or 17th ranked defense, in which case they're like a top 5-ish team in the conference, top 5-ish, top 6-ish. Okay. Enough about the fucking Nets. Fuck Brooklyn. As I podcast for my
from Brooklyn.
Cobble Hill apartment.
Yeah.
LeBron, you gave me just all kinds of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Just shit upon shit.
Yes.
For having him,
in my mind, deserve it. So.
Listen, he's a 37-year-old man.
He's LeBron James.
With when I ranked him with 1 year left on his contract, he now has 2 years left on his contract.
John, were you ranking 36-year-old Michael Jordan with 1 year left on his contract?